Hello! Today we are in Ueno Park, where art galleries, museums, concert halls, and a zoo are all in one place, and is a relaxing place for Tokyo residents. I'm Caede, your guide. In the spring, it's also a very popular spot for cherry blossom viewing. It was designated as Japan's first park in 1873. But before it became a park, it had deep ties to the Tokugawa family, who ruled Japan for more than 260 years. We will show you the highlights of the park, along with the history of how it became Ueno Park. In the Edo period, Ueno Park was located northeast of Edo Castle, the direction from where evil supposedly arrives. The Kanyeji Temple was built here in 1625 as a temple for the Tokugawa shoguns to prevent demons and evil spirits from entering the Edo area and to pray for the prosperity of the Tokugawa family. Surprisingly, almost the entire area of today's Ueno Park is within what used to be the precinct of temple. Being the temple of the Tokugawa family, who had absolute power and ruled Japan for more than 260 years, feudal lords have donated many buildings, such as a 5-story pagoda and a great Buddha, together creating the largest temple in Edo. Funerals and the memorial services for the Tokugawa family were held here, and the graves of 6 shoguns are also located here. The Zojoji Temple, that is located at the foot of Tokyo Tower, is also famous as a temple where 6 successive shoguns are laid to rest. Incidentally, the first shogun Ieyasu and the third shogun Iemitsu rest in Nikko. In 1868, the power shifted from the Tokugawa shoguns to the imperial family. At the time, the 15th shogun Yoshinobu, who was forced out of Edo Castle, was put under house arrest here in the Kanyeji Temple, surrounded by many girls. Even after Yoshinobu left the Kanyeji, the girls did not leave the temple. Instead, they increased in number to 3,000, and a conflict occurred between the new government forces that occupied Edo Castle and the conservative girls. Finally, on May 15th, the Ueno War broke out. Almost all the buildings in Kanyeji were burned down by the new government forces. There were many casualties on the conservative Tokugawa lawyers' side. On the site where the main building of Kanyeji used to be, this large fountain now stands. Later, the rebuilt main building of Kanyeji was placed on the north side of Ueno Park, supporting the Tokugawa family's gravesite. Later, on this area, where the large original Kanyeji temple once stood, a few Kanyeji buildings were left behind. And since 1873, the park is open to the public. Miraculously, a few of the Kanyeji buildings survived both the Ueno War and World War II. So let me introduce them. First is the large Shinobazu Pond on the south side of Ueno Park. A monk named Tenkai founded the Kanyeji Temple, and he wanted to copy famous sites from Kyoto and Shiga to the Ueno area. Shinobazu Pond was modeled after Lake Biwa, the largest lake in Japan, which is located in Shiga Prefecture, and the Kiyomizu Kannon-do, which we will see later, was modeled after the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto. Oh, even though the lake was built, Shinobazu Pond was originally already a body of water. Until the Heian period, Tokyo Bay used to reach this far inland. Also, imitating Lake Biwa, many lotus plants were added to the Shinobazu Pond, and from around late July they bloom into large flowers. But during World War II, there was a shortage of food, so the Shinobazu Pond was temporarily reclaimed and turned into rice paddies. And then there is the Kiyomizu Kannon-do. As the name suggests, it was built in 1631, modeled after the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto. It was spared from the fires of the Ueno War, and the Edo-period building remains to this day. The most famous feature of the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto is its stage structure. So, this Kiyomizu Kannon-do is also built with a stage structure. The image of the main statue is a thousand-armed Kannon Bodhisattva, the same as in the Kyoto Kiyomizu Temple. It is a hidden statue and can only be seen once a year. The moon pine, a pine tree with a rounded trunk, is located in front of the Kiyomizu Kannon-do. It is depicted in the works of Utagawa Hiroshige, an ukiyo-e or woodblock print artist who was active in the Edo period. Ukiyo-e at the time also served as a kind of guidebook, so many people in the Edo period came here to see this view after seeing Hiroshige's painting. As you proceed through the park, you will find an interesting big Buddha, where only the head is left. It is the Ueno Daibutsu. Originally, there was a 6-meter plaster Buddha statue here in 1631. It collapsed in an earthquake a dozen years later and was rebuilt as a bronze Buddha. But after that, several more earthquakes struck, causing the head to fall to the ground. The Buddha's final blow happened during World War II, when the body from the neck down, which was made of copper, was offered to the Japanese army. So now only this face remains. It is strange that only the face is left. Well, this is Ueno Park. Stock photos of Ueno Park are usually taken during the cherry blossom season. It is no wonder. Since the Edo period, this park has been famous for its cherry blossoms, and there are still about 800 cherry trees standing here today. It is said that these cherry trees were originally transplanted from Yoshinoyama in Nara, when the monk Tenkai built Kan'ei Temple. Ukiyo-e prints from the Edo period depicts mountain cherry trees with whitish cherry blossoms. But today, most of them are Somei-Yoshino trees with light pink flowers, right? I wonder why. The Somei-Yoshino variety was a type of cherry tree that was chosen when the area was developed as a park after the Meiji Restoration. The Somei-Yoshino is a new variety created in the late Edo period. It is said that the Emperor Meiji, who wanted to open Japan to the outside world and establish a new era, chose Somei-Yoshino to be planted here because he thought that this mountain cherry tree was a symbol of old Japan. Perhaps he did not want to leave the colors of the Tokugawa era behind completely. There are still many other things to see in Ueno Park. Next, we will take you to the Ueno Toshogu Shrine, Ueno Zoo, Tokyo National Museum, and more.